Welcome to a new reading vlog. So this week I haven't done this in a while, but we're going to be doing a realistic what I read in a week. So today is Monday, the official date of Monday. It is 4th of November, I can't even remember, but this is a fresh new week and I thought I would take you guys along to like what I typically read in a week. We don't know how this is going to go. I have 3 books specifically that I want to read this week. The first one is Breathe With Me by Rebecca Mack. I have it on my Kindle, but then I've also got the physical copy, and I just started on Kindle because I started it early this morning on the way to work, and we're only 27 pages in and my heart is already broken. So if you guys didn't know, this book is part of a series. It is actually the last book in the series. Already a couple in the first book, and we're finally getting to their story this time. And this is going to be a very sad and emotional roller coaster. And also this book's going to be very difficult and very emotional to get through. All of her books are like that, but especially this one, because this one deals with infertility, and this reflects a lot about the author's own experiences. And I love Becca so freaking much. I just love this series so much, and I don't want it to end. And you guys should have seen me when I was in the car. I was literally sobbing already, and we're only 2 chapters into this book. I don't know how I'm going to react to like reading this book. I have no idea, but you guys have seen me react to Unravel Me, you guys have seen me react to Fall With Me, and now we're going to be reacting to the last book in the Playing for Keeps series. And I just know this book is going to put me through all the freaking emotions, but I am so ready for it. I have been putting it off because it did come out last week, but this week we're going to be getting to it. The other 2 books I have, we have People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. Really want to read that one. And then we also have If It Makes You Happy. So I just wanted to do a little intro to intro you guys into the video. Right now it's around 3:45, and I'm going to do a bit of reading now. I've got a bit of a headache, so I might read maybe a few chapters, and then I do a food shop. But when I come back from my food shop and have dinner, we're definitely going to be sitting down and reading this. So I will give you guys an update every single day about how many pages I've read. So come along if you guys want to see a realistic reading week in my life. But I'm going to stop yapping because you guys know I can yap for Britain, and I'm going to stop procrastinating because I feel like I am procrastinating reading this book because I'm so scared. I don't want it to end. And
it was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire.
I'm literally 114 pages through this book, and it's already, I already know that it's a 5 stars. Like, it's not even a 5 stars, it's a 6 stars. Like,
We saw seems so strong until it falls, the final straw. Oh, I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door.
Becca, you're absolutely destroying me right now. It literally feels like my heart has been ripped out. Like, I don't even know how to explain how I'm feeling right now. Like, Cara deserves the whole freaking world, like both her and Emmett, but like Cara especially. And this scene that we've just read is just so heartbreaking. And go through like wow. I was like, I'm there in those moments. Like, it literally genuinely feels like I'm in her shoes, getting these tests and just seeing the negative on it, and then constantly putting herself down for her body, and like something her body is not able to do, that's nothing to do with her. And like, it's the bit of her just like praying, like she's saying, please. It's literally gut-wrenching. That's all I can explain. That's all I could describe it. It is gut-wrenching because it's going to destroy me, but in such a beautiful way, like in a way that this book is going to forever hold a place in my heart. It is going to forever be ingrained in my psyche. I'm going to get more into it tomorrow. For now, I'm going to log off, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Tuesday, guys. I don't know if you guys can see, but it is Tuesday around 5, and I've been reading, I can't lie, a lot of this book. I'm already 62% through this book. I think yesterday when I spoke to you guys, I was like 30% through, and now I've like doubled that. I'm on page 283, chapter 25 I mean, and since I've been back for the past hour, I've just been sat reading. I carried on reading a little bit yesterday as well, and also this morning. And all I'm going to say is, Becca, you did it again. Like, I've non-stopped crying. And it is very emotional, very raw, very sad to see everything that Emmett and Cara go through, especially Cara, and like the thought she's just having of just like hating her body, because as a woman I think there's no greater pain than not being able to conceive and have a child, especially because in society it's like it's been known throughout generations that women's bodies are only there to reproduce, and there's that stereotype that that's the case. So it's extremely frustrating when you want to have a baby and you can't, and you just feel like it's you. And I think in this relationship as well, what's even worse is like some couples have it where it's like both of them have issues with their bodies, which is why they can't reproduce. But in this instance, Cara is the one that is got a condition, and I think for her, she's putting on a lot of pressure on herself. And even if she doesn't mean to, she's looking at her friends who are pregnant. It is just bringing up a storm of emotions, and she's so valid in feeling those. And she reminds me a lot of me, not because I know what she's going through, but like she could be experiencing her own struggles but feels bad about hating upon others. So she's looking at her friends obviously with jealousy, because she's like, why not her? But at the same time, she's getting frustrated at herself for hating or getting jealous. And that is something that's just so raw and so valid, and that something like this can cause you to have such irrational thoughts about yourself and about your reality. And like, she's trying to push Emmett away, but what I love is just Emmett's just like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, Cara, without you I can't breathe. Like, with you, that's the only way I'm living. Like, I did not live between you. Like, I was simply surviving. With you, I am living. And I just love these two so freaking much. They are my whole entire heart, like I was saying yesterday. And I've read quite a bit, as I said. And yesterday, I don't know how many pages I was on yesterday. Maybe I can check using my phone, but I'm pretty sure, let me double check. think I was on like 100 and something. So I think maybe I read about 150 pages yesterday, and then so far I would say I've read about 130, but I'm not really keeping track of it. I think because I'm just reading this book and I want to get into it. I definitely think I might even finish it tonight because I don't want to put it down. Like, I don't even want to eat. I haven't not eaten since I've been home. I literally just changed my jumper, but I just want to continue. And I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. I will give you guys an update probably tomorrow. If I have anything else I want to say, I will say it tonight. But I can't lie, I feel like I'm just going to sit, read and indulge. I will continue and I will speak to you guys tomorrow. But Becca, this book is absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's gonna be my update for now. I will speak to you guys all tomorrow.
Passarinho na janela e o fusquinha na calçada, bicicleta amarela e o calor de madrugada são lembranças de nós dois. Vai você, eu vou depois. Deixa a porta aberta. E as horas vão passando e amanhã vem chegando e os seus lábios nos meus lábios e os seus olhos me olhando e o sol já vai subir. Você desce e vai embora. É quando eu vou dormir. Passarinho na janela e o fusquinha na calçada, bicicleta amarela e o calor de madrugada.
So it is Friday. I haven't spoken to you guys since Tuesday, and you might be thinking, Amy, why am I in Christmas PJs? And yes, I am in Christmas PJs, but I got home, I needed to put something more sensible on. I made myself a gingerbread matcha. Yes, it's in the pumpkin glass, but we're still in autumn. Even though Halloween's gone, we're still in autumn. And I made a pumpkin. I made a gingerbread matcha. So freaking good, like, oh, amazing. M&S gingerbread milk plus matcha. Chef's kiss. And yeah, I haven't spoken to you much, but before we talk about People Watching, which is the book that I'm currently reading, we need to speak about this baby right here. Like, just holding her in my hands. Like, I still haven't done my highlighting because I highlighted the hell out of this book through my Kindle. Like, I pretty much highlighted like every single page because Cara and Emmett, the way these two were writing and the way they felt, well, not writing, the way Becca wrote the way they were feeling, especially Cara. As you guys saw, I cried many times, and that came from a place of like pure sadness and empathy for her. Like, whilst I'm only 23, I have not gone through the whole thing of wanting to have children yet, and just reading about Cara and like such a bubbly, charismatic character feels so put down by her own body, like your own freaking body, and feeling like you're nothing and feeling like you're not enough, and she's all constantly questioning like, why not her? Like, why does her body not want her? It's like, it's almost like she feels like, why can't she just do the basic thing a woman's body should be able to do, is reproduce? And like, she's like to herself, why can't she do her? And like, she's finding herself become jealous for her about her friends and that, not that she's jealous of them, but she's jealous of what they have. And like moments when people are saying to her, you're so lucky you have no kids, you and your husband, but it's like, that's all she ever wanted, and that is just everything. It's just everything. I finished this book, as you guys saw, in like less than 24 hours. I started it Monday and then I finished it Tuesday. And I just think this book was sensational. Becca, the way you write, thank you for opening up and writing such a raw and emotional story. I think this book almost feels like I can't really give it a rating, because it's almost like it feels so personal and it feels so deep and emotional. And this book was absolutely amazing. Not to say the friendship moment. There's like a scene where they first find out that Kara can't have kids. Well, it's going to be very hard for her to have kids. And they basically come home and like Kara, all she wants to do is like be in her PJs and like rot in bed. But they return home and their whole family is there. And I just love the way they actually are referred to as the family, and just like all the couples together with their kids, and like how they all, no matter what's happening in each other's lives, they're always going to be there for each other. Or like another bit where Kara's going through obviously one of the various difficulties of infertility, and Emmett's not there because he's a hockey player, like he's not always going to be there, and he literally like rushes back. And not even just him, all the characters, like the main characters like Carter, Garrett, Jackson, all of them not like come back. But I just love the way he was there for Kara and the way he supported her. For example, like when they were doing the needle injections, for every little second that the needle was in her, he would say something he loved about her. And I just think that within itself, so precious, so gut-wrenching, and so beautiful. Like, I will say this, it is so beautiful. I don't want to spoil too much, like I'm only talking about stuff that is very known, but let's just say there is a little boy that comes into the picture, and I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. And the way he comes into their lives, like even just the little snippet we had at the start of the book, I knew instantly, a bit like Lily from Unravel Me, that he would be a very big character. I'm trying not to get emotional right here. And the way he brought so much joy to their lives, especially Kara as well, like she's gone through hell and freaking back. And I just think this book was truly a masterpiece. It was so freaking beautiful. And Becca, you are so worth it. This series is so worth it. That's why I always say, like, people like give very, obviously reading is very subjective, everyone has their own opinions, but this is generally a series that I will defend until the end of time. And because I know that Becca, the author that's writing this book, is generally such an amazing, beautiful human being. And that is kind of what I'm gonna say at the moment about this book. I can, as I said, can go on to it for donkey years. On Monday I read 204 pages, and then Tuesday I read 241, so it is over my target of 100 pages, but I knew that was going to happen because this is a very, very, like, this is actually my most anticipated read from 2025, so there's no wonder why I've read that in 2 days. And then following that, Wednesday, I didn't read much on Wednesday. That is when I had started people watching. I literally read 5 pages. You guys just saw me on like the first page. I only read 5 pages when I was on the journey with my niece until she woke up. And then I didn't get back into it. By the time I got home, I was shattered, spending time with family. So I only read 5 pages. And then yesterday, I made my most progress with this, which is 127 pages. So I'm currently reading People Watching by Hannah Boham Young. So this one is a very much small town vibes. We have Milo and Prue. I'm going to refer to her as Prue. So Milo basically goes to this town, like small town. This is where his brother lives, and he's basically gone there to like help his brother settle and stuff like that with his family. And upon that, he basically meets Prue, who her family owns a shop. I think they do, is it food? No, it's petrol. I think it's petrol they serve. I can't remember. All I remember is that Milo instantly had a fascination, let's say, with Prue. Even Prue, she tries to hide it, but she had a massive fixation on him. And Prue just just from reading this like past 100 and whatever pages, this trope is very unique, and sometimes it can be a bit cringy and a bit weird when it's like a very playboy boy. He's not, I don't think he's playboy, he's just very experienced. And then there's obviously someone like Prue who is more I don't know, it's not that she's actively decided she's not going to do it, it's just that she thought it was going to happen, but as she gets older and older, like the time hasn't ever felt right, it's just never happened. But I'm going to carry on reading for now, and I will speak to you guys all tomorrow. Happy Saturday, guys. Right now it is 1 p.m. on Saturday, and this morning I've just spent it tidying up. I will speak about it more in a vlog, but let's just say sad or seasonal depression has been kicking my butt lately, especially the past 2 weeks. Even last week, I started to feel it last week when I was off work, but this week, since returning back to work, the burnout is real, the seasonal depression is real, and my vitamin D deficiency is also real. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about people watching. So yesterday, I didn't read much yesterday. After I spoke to you guys, I kind of just didn't really do much reading. I did some on the sofa, but I read 56 pages. I ended up finishing the book on 183, and then today I picked up the book again, and for the past half an hour I've just been sat reading, and I read 51 pages. So I'm currently on page 234, chapter 21, and I need to get this like straight. I'm trying to like think about it. This book is not bad by any means, however this ain't my favorite. I just feel like this book is really cozy and really easy to read, but I just don't think it's essentially giving me like autumn as such. And I like the characters, but I'm not invested in them as such as a couple. Like in friendship, I think they would be such good friends, or they are such good friends and becoming good friends, but in terms of like a relationship, I just don't think they would last, like if they get into an actual relationship. But that's just me personally. I think they're well suited as friends more so, and I like them both separately. They both have obviously a lot going on. Milo, he hasn't really had a great upbringing. Him and his two siblings have gone through a lot, and then obviously Prue, she's got her mum who's got Alzheimer's, and then obviously she's got her dad that she's also kind of like helping out with, and there's a lot that's going on in both of their lives. And then obviously they've become friends kind of in a very quick way, and it just feels like a lot's happened in such a short time span, and I'm enjoying that because of how easy it is to read. Like I don't feel like I'm getting slumpy, and I feel like I'm getting bored, but I'm not invested in the relationship as such. I feel like as soon as we've gotten to the more spicier stuff, I feel like the relationship's kind of falling flat. It's just like friends with benefits, it feels like. It doesn't feel like they would develop as like a relationship, but that's just me. I just don't feel like they need each other in terms of romantically. They need each other like friendship wise. I feel like they have a lot of conversations, stuff like that, but it doesn't feel romantic. But I don't know how to explain it. Maybe that is easy to understand for you guys, but I am enjoying it. It's nice and easy, it's nice and simple, and it's not very long either. I only have like less than 100 pages until I finish it, so my goal is to definitely finish it today. I'm gonna now make myself some lunch, read a little bit more of People Watching, go on my walk, and then when I come back, hopefully we can have a cozy little evening together. I will see you guys later, and yeah, that's it for now. Sunday, and yesterday, I don't think I spoke to you guys yesterday, apart from like early afternoon, but I didn't go on my walk. But I did finish off people watching yesterday. I ended up reading 154 pages altogether yesterday, obviously finishing off the rest of this, and then I read just the prelogue of If It Makes You Happy. Before we get onto that book, we're going to talk about people watching. Overall, I think I'm going to give people watching a 3 stars, just because I just wasn't obsessed with the characters in terms of romantically. I think when it came to friendship wise, I felt like they were really good friends, that they could really talk to each other about stuff. And don't get me wrong, like the spy scenes were very spicy, but I definitely felt like this book at times was very insta-lovey, especially with Milo. I feel like he just jumped the gun in terms of falling in love with Prue. Prue was a little bit more reserved in terms of it, but like I think especially for him coming like as the playboy, he doesn't want to be tied down by a relationship to wanting a relationship with the female main character. It's just like, where did this come from? I think it was very fast paced. I wasn't bored whilst reading it. I just wasn't fully invested in the romantic relationship between Milo and Prue. But as a whole, I really think they have a really great like base for a friendship. So whilst I wasn't invested in them as a couple, I was invested in them as 2 separate people, but then also as friends. So that is kind of my update and review of people watching. There's not really much I can really say, but yeah, I finished that. And then obviously today I continued with If It Makes You Happy. I started it yesterday just reading the prelogue before I went bed, and then this morning and then this afternoon I finally just sat down for the past like half an hour and carried on reading. So this book features Michelle, and basically it starts off with her at her mother's wake. So her mother has just passed away. She has returned to, well, not returned, she's gone to the hometown where her and her dad lives. They run their own bread and breakfast, and she has also just gotten divorced. So it literally starts off with her and her ex-husband there. He basically drops the baton in front of her whole family that they've gotten divorced, and obviously her mum's died, and she's just going through a hell of a lot. But she has a younger sister, and she's definitely like the colder of the 2. She reminds me a bit of Rose from the Addicted series, but she's also a character that everyone in her family definitely relies on and loves. So it's not like she's just fully cold, she's always there. So she's like kind of got a cold demeanor, but she's also she cares about her family. She'll do anything for them. So I started off reading that and the prelogue yesterday. I think it really was a great start to introduce the characters, and just off the bat of that, I think we see our main character, the male. His name is Cliff, but in the prelogue she just refers to him as the guy that she sees at the funeral. She doesn't know who he is. And then it basically like fast forward to September 1997. So I love the fact that this book is set in the 90s as well. I feel like that's just so fun. I feel like it's going to give very much the 90s rom-com feel. And it basically starts off with her deciding to go to the small town, Copper Hill I think it's called, to basically run her mum's bed and breakfast until her sister can graduate and work there herself. So she obviously arrives there, and on her first day of arriving there, she is setting herself up. She's got her dog, and she basically sees her neighbour and basically his daughter, and they basically invite her over for dinner. And we're just at that point we basically officially meet the main character, Cliff. We have like a scene where the first chapter is kind of his chapter, and it like introduces to him. He's got 2 daughters, he's divorced and stuff like that. He also runs his own bakery, so we've also got like an introduction to him, and then we've got our first little scene of them 2 actually interacting. And so far I can easily say this book is definitely giving autumn feels, and I highly recommend it for that reason. And I've just started it. I'm only on chapter 4, page 57, but I can already tell that this book is going to be very autumny rom-com feels. Like it already feels really cozy, and yes, giving kind of Gilmore Girls with the small town vibes, but obviously it's going to be its own plot within itself, which I'm really excited to see the progression of that. And as well, the descriptions, there's very much a lot of descriptions of like autumn. There's like a bit where she's like entering the town and she's in the taxi and she can see all the autumn displays, and just her pinpointing and describing different parts of the town, and it's just given autumn, and it's given cozy, and I'm excited to carry on reading it. And I'll speak to you guys later on when I have another update for you guys.
Some might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free. I am my heart's only owner, or at least I used to be. 'Cause now a wildfire is raging deep inside, and my heartstrings are pulling like the tide. And the match that drew a spark was a single stolen kiss. And if that ain't love, I don't know what is.
It is the evening, as you guys couldn't guess. It is like nearly 10 o'clock and I'm about to head to bed. Well, I'm going to read in my bed. And I've got a big update for you guys. I didn't actually anticipate reading this much, but I could not put this book down. Like, I haven't wanted to put this book down since I started it. I'm currently on chapter 16, page 200. It doesn't tell you how much I'm enjoying this book. I don't know what it is. I just love the whole aesthetic of this book, like the whole vibe, the aesthetic, the banter between Shelley and Shelley. I'm going to call her Shelley because her name's Michelle. She actually hates the name, well, the nickname Shelley, but we have Michelle and Cliff, and these two, the banter between them two, you can definitely feel like the black cat, golden retriever, grumpy sunshine, but obviously he's more of like the sunshine and she's a little bit more of the grump, and I love that. Like, I love a good reverse grumpy and sunshine book, and the banter between the two, it's just amazing as well. It's just so cute, and this book is definitely feeling a very autumny, very small time vibes. I definitely feel like I'm in a autumn town, like a little small town, and I'm here for it. Like, I wish I lived in a small town that everyone was so integrated and connected to each other. But obviously Cliff has 2 daughters, so he's also trying to be a dad. Obviously he's a single dad, and then the mum's involved. There is their mum involved, but the mum is very weird. She has a very weird relationship with her 2 daughters. So obviously there's 2 different daughters. There's one called Emily, and Emily's the older one, and she's kind of got a boyfriend. She's a teenager. She's going through all that teenage stuff, and obviously Cliff is trying to protect her because him and his ex-wife, they basically had Emily when they were teenagers, so he doesn't want her to have the same thing that's happened. And obviously he's also helping out Michelle, and I just think they're so freaking cute. That's kind of my update for now in terms of obviously reading and how much I've read so far today. Let me actually calculate this, because so far on my list before I had 45 pages on here, and I started it about 11 pages in, so I think I've read about maybe 190 pages roughly, maybe like 189 pages altogether. But obviously I'm going to try and read a little bit more before I go to bed as well, just because I just don't want to put this book down. So that is my update for now, guys. I will speak to you guys, the next clip will probably be me once I finish this, because obviously today is Sunday, so it is the end pretty much of this, what I realistically read in a week. But I'll probably speak to you guys maybe Wednesday or something next week, whenever I finish this book, to kind of give you how many pages I read on Sunday, and then my final thoughts and feelings about this book. But for now, I'm going to head to bed because I'm absolutely shattered. I will see you guys all very soon. Good night. So I realised that I did not give you guys an update or final review on this book, but I finished it yesterday, and I'm here to tell you guys that this book was a 5 stars. I'm obsessed with this book. I just think it's just a perfect autumn read. Not even just that, I feel like this book is such a good transitional read, because there's different like months, and there's like November and December, and then there's like the end of the year 1997, and I just love the fact that it's set in the 90s. It just feels like a 90s rom-com, but add the family elements into it, add the comedy, add the spice, and I just think this book was absolutely perfect. And let's just say Cliff and her being in this town Copper Run and her being in this town Copper Run has really opened her up and really made her feel like she's part of a community, but also that she's loved and that she can open her emotions. Obviously she was recently divorced, and obviously her partner, when she was with him, was like saying that she's just too cold, he couldn't really open up and stuff like that, which I think is absolute bull crap. But Cliff comes along and he is everything she needs. Emily and Brittany, his children, and then also Rocket the dog. I just think this book was just amazing start to finish. It was so cozy, it felt like a giant hug. And the reason why I say it's transitional is because obviously, as I said, it has November and December chapters, which, for example, we had like Christmas and preparing for Christmas, all the Christmas lights and stuff like that. There's like a Christmas Day, there was New Year's, and I just think that perfectly tied up the whole story and just the whole vibe of this book, and it was just perfect. So I thought I would come and give you guys a review because I completely forgot. I didn't end up finishing this book by the end of the week because it's actually Saturday now, so it's actually another week, so it took me another week just to finish this. I think I ended up reading like over 200 pages on Sunday because I didn't actually have that long left. I think I was like that much left, and then I finished that during the week. I can't remember when I gave you guys the last update, but it'll be on the screen because I'll probably obviously watch back my footage and then I'll know. But it's definitely something closer to like 200 pages, and then obviously I finished the rest during the week. But obviously I'm not going to count that because obviously it was just how much I realistically read in a week, and I feel like I had such a great read, and I'm just excited now to say goodbye. This was like a goodbye to autumn and a hello to Christmas. I am in the process of preparing myself for winter and Christmas, so I think this book was actually absolutely perfect. Now I'm going to go on to a Christmas book, but I love the fact that this book had the elements of autumn and Christmas and New Year's. It just felt so cuddly, so cozy. So absolutely loved this, absolutely loved reading the books I read this week. I hope you guys enjoyed spending the week with me, and yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, make sure you give it a like, a comment and a subscribe, and I will see you guys all very soon. Stay blessed, and as I always say, I love you all. Bye bye for now.